Let's make a bet. Brought to you by HPI Bet. One of the great benefits of becoming an HPI Bet member is you get 1 month of free streaming of racing from around the world for just signing up. That's a $100 value. Plus, for a limited time, you can get $100 when you sign up and bet $100 in your first 30 days.
So our Triple Crown is a lot different than the United States Triple Crown, you know, the races that American Pharoah and Secretariat won. We had the Queen's Plate, Holy Helena won the filly on Polytrack here at Woodbine. We had Cool Catamine win the Prince of Wales on dirt at Fort Erie. And now we have 1.5 miles for the Breeders' Stakes. Now only Cool Catamine is coming back. Holy Helena's got bigger fish to fry in the United States.
So without those big names, or I should say the biggest of which, Holy Helena, makes it wide open. I think this race, again, ripe for the picking, just like the Plate was, and just like the Prince of Wales.
Well, certainly, you know, handicapping races for the grass and the 1.5 mile distance. And we're gonna find out. Some of the trainers, you know, they're very interested in how their horses are gonna handle the surface and the distance.
We were looking for a horse to run in the Queen's Plate. And Rob Marzilli said, let's see if we can find a horse. It was kind of late, and we found Seeking Albert in Texas. So we decided to give him a try on the Poly because he'd been a good little turf horse. And his race on Poly really wasn't that great. So we shelved our idea about going to the Plate and sort of shift gears and focused on the breeders. I think till you run him on it, you really don't know. But he had been running on the grass in Lone Star. And he comes from Offutt, which is kind of harder to do on the course I think he ran on. It was really fast at Lone Star. You know, it's a pretty firm turf course. And our course going 1.5 miles, his race was, I think, extra good because when he won, they were in lane 5, and that doesn't really suit horses coming from Offutt, in my opinion. I think when they're out in lane 5, it sort of suits speed. Lane 5 is when the dogs or the partitions are out the furthest. It's a strange phenomenon. I don't know why, but it just seems from a handicapping angle that horses that are in front when you're in lane 5 seem to win a lot more often than horses that are coming from Offutt. He's generally pretty quiet, but we had him out in the grass here today and he was jumping around a little, having fun. He's had a lot of time in between his last race and this race, and we're expecting a huge effort. I wish the race was tomorrow.
Well, Jen, coming off that explosive win, Seeking Albert will not be double digits coming up in this race. Mike DiPaolo, we should mention success in the Breeders' Stakes. Pender Harbor comes to mind.
Yeah, for sure. And Seeking Albert is by a stallion named Einstein, thus the Albert.
That's
and,
right.
you know, Einstein loved racing in the States, going very long distances on grass, so that's where Seeking Albert gets it from.
We're trying to handicap this race. We're trying to give you some more options, and one of those perhaps is one that's trained by Kevin Attard.
That's right. So looking at Bravo is his name. He's lightly raced, but he won his maiden, his first race that he won, in his second career start on the grass. But he ran against Seeking Albert last time.
He did, and wasn't a bad effort. With more on that, here's Kev.
Yeah, looking at Bravo was a little disappointing. I thought last time I was expecting a better performance out of him. But he's bounced out of the race in good order. He had a strong breeze last weekend in preparation for the Breeders on Sunday. And going to a rider change with Emma Wilson. And you know, I think he's coming into the race well. He's lacks a little seasoning, but he's gone the distance now, and he should move forward. He had trained well heading into his first race and been breezing well over the Tapito. He ran a decent race, had a bit of a kind of weird journey. So at that point, we knew that the Plate was out of the option, and I thought him being by Looking at Lucky, turf was going to be his best footing, and figured, you know what, if we're going to have a crack at something, let's shoot for the Breeders and get him to the turf and see where it leads us. With him being by Looking at Lucky, I thought, you know, turf was going to be his preferred surface. He looked like he was a horse that had stamina in him, and when we ran him 1.25 miles second time out, he kind of proved that theory. I definitely think at this point, you know, there's still a lot of young 3-year-olds still kind of figuring things out. Going 1.5 miles on a surface to some that might be new, it throws kind of a surprise to some of them. So, you know, I mean, we've seen in the past, long shots come up and pop up on this day, and I'm hoping to be one of them. He's training well, he's coming into the race as good as can be, and we're just going to try to put our best foot forward and surprise them all.
Kevin, looking for the upset? Potentially. We've seen a lot of those happen right here on this turf course. So there's 2 of the horses in the field, Jen, but we have to mention a few more because, like I said before, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a wide open event.
That's right. We got a lot of horses in the race that are the up-and-comers. They're really getting good right now. Look, we saw Cool Catamine win the Prince of Wales, the second leg of the Triple Crown, on the dirt at Fort Erie. He's bred for the grass, and trainer John Ross thinks that he'll handle the turf. We don't really know for sure, but he's a horse that's the now horse. He's coming up, he's in great form. Another horse to look at, Final Copy. This is a horse trained by Roger Atfield.
He's won this race a few times, right?
Yes, a few times. And he knows about getting a horse ready for a grass race for sure. That's another thing to look at. Trainers who do well with their turf statistics. Final Copy just won the Toronto Cup Stakes. He's one to watch.
Proven.
And the horse that, could be favored if he's running, Channel Maker, who won a stakes race on the grass last year at Woodbine, been running on the turf, ran well in the Queen's Plate, and he's been freshened in New York for his American trainer, Bill Mott.
We're trying to help you handicap this race. One angle I say to always go with, Roger Atfield.
Yeah.
Nobody's done it better when it comes to the Breeder Stakes. If I'm stuck, Roger, that's where I'm going.
That's right. Well, handicapping turf races, there's so much to look at. Pedigree, running style. The stretch is so long, you don't want your horse to be really too eager early and making his move too soon. There's a lot of race to go.
1,440 feet, top of the stretch to the wire. You won't find anything longer in North America.